Hey, Science Seekers, this is Mr. Pfeiffer. We got another Science Seeker episode. We are with Needy. Needy is an 8th grader at Margaret Mead Junior High. Needy, can you tell us about your science experiment and how you made it to being one of our finalists while I load up your website here? Explain what you
All
do.
right. So for my project, I did the effect of meditation on blood pressure and anxiety. So basically what I did was I had 9 students total, and I had them arranged in 3 groups of 3 people in each. And then I had each group do a different amount of meditation. So group A didn't do any meditation. Group B did a 3-minute meditation, and group C did a 5-minute meditation. Then I was able to find out, like, this essentially was just to find out, like, if the amount of meditation had an effect on how it affected blood pressure and anxiety, and if it was able to calm it down. So in my results,
Go ahead.
I found that group A had higher blood pressure than everyone else, and which I found was because that they didn't do any meditation. Group C had like more ideal blood pressures, and because they did the longest amount of meditation and they had the best test scores, and group A had the lowest test scores.
Yeah,
I put all of my data into averages to see like how each of the groups compared. Group B was in the middle throughout the entire study, showing like that meditation has a greater impact the more you do it.
What sort of meditation did you do?
So the meditation that I used is like the most common one. It was a guided meditation, but it was just the simple basic like breathing exercises. So
this rental car is so boring to drive.
Right.
Let's be honest.
So
Rent a car and
so this is an example of one of the meditation videos, right?
thanks for
yeah.
Okay.
I gave them a test too, like after the meditations. Like I gave each group a test. It was a math test that it was like it was around like the IQ level, or like the level of math that like students in this age group would know. So to make sure that the test was like accurate.
So your groups, okay. So what can you explain blood pressure? Why you measured blood pressure, and so you did body measurements and you did mind measurements both, correct?
Like yeah, kind of. So blood pressure was basically to measure anxiety, because when you are anxious, that affects your blood pressure. So if you're anxious, your blood pressure goes up, and so to see how students blood pressures responded to the meditations and the tests, it showed like how the meditations helped anxiety and blood pressures and test scores.
Got it. Okay. So, and I noticed you spent a lot of time on this chart here. Can you explain what I'm looking at between the diastolic and the systolic blood pressure? Because I know you decided to measure both, right?
Yeah. So blood pressure is basically when you're like the pressure that is created when your heart pumps blood to different parts of the body. Systolic pressure is the pressure that is created when your heart pumps out blood. Diastolic pressure is the pressure in between heartbeats.
What?
So when you're measuring it, it's a systolic over diastolic, so it's a fraction.
Okay.
And so, yeah.
So we have a couple questions before we let you go. The first one is, how is your study innovative and changing the world better with science? What exactly about this can we take to help, evolve?
So, basically my whole point of doing this study was to help students or anyone, like feel less stressed out and less anxious. Because a lot of students mainly, get lots of test anxiety, and this can affect their test scores, leading them to do poorly. So what I was thinking was that teachers could implement like meditation before, like like a 3 to 5 minute meditation before class starts so that students are more productive. Or that if they notice that students are like really like stressed out about a test, they can have students take like a 3 to 5 minute meditation so that the students are able to do better.
And then how was, what's one struggle and one success throughout this whole journey, this whole process of doing the scientific method?
So my one struggle was, since I had to do this test mainly on like my peers, I had to make sure that when I was doing it, I had them like in an environment that was more controlled, and also that I was able to finish their testing because it was only in like a class period, and I couldn't have them test outside. So I had to make sure that I was getting my test done in that allotted time period. And then a success was like that I was able to get like different data points, and I did have like students that had low blood pressure and I had high blood pressure. So I was able to see how the meditation affected both of those and how it affected both low blood pressure and high blood pressure.
Well, I'm going to have to let you go. That's all the time we have, but I am very proud of you as an 8th grader. I think you've grown tremendously over this year and a half of doing science and being a scientist. And I think that this is a really nice example of a good application of the scientific method in the way that we've learned it. So congrats and well done, Needy.
Thank you.